Today I'm going to be taking it upon myself to rank every shotgun in Siege X and placing them all on the tier list from S tier down to D tier. Now for this video I've also included secondary shotguns as well as the bailiff pistol, and do remember this list is entirely based on my opinion, so if you disagree let me know down in the comments where I went wrong. Now to start off this video then, we're going to be starting with D tier and then we're going to be slowly working our way up through the tiers and leaving the last tier, S tier, till last. So let's look at all the shotguns in the game and let's decide, do any actually belong in D tier? Now in my personal opinion, I don't actually think any of these shotguns deserve D tier, but I am going to put my personal least favorite shotgun in that tier, and the one weapon that is going in D tier, in my opinion, out of all the shotguns in the game, is Ella's shotgun. Now the reason why this is going so low is because it has a really bad damage output. The bullet spread on it is kind of crazy. If you're using this up close, yes, you still can get kills, and to be honest, you could probably take out multiple people with the size of that magazine. But in terms of destruction, in terms of consistency, this has to be the worst shotgun in the game. Now other than Ella's FO12, I don't think any other shotgun in the game deserves D tier. Moving on up into C tier though, there is definitely two weapons that I want to include in that tier. The first one has to be the bailiff. Now the only reason why the bailiff actually went higher than Ella's shotgun for this video is because at least it is a secondary option, so you can still bring a good primary weapon to the gunfight and you're not wasting it as a primary slot. With that being said though, it definitely still is absolutely terrible in gunfights. Do not use this to try and take anyone out. Now is there any other shotguns that also deserved C tier? I do think so, and that one shotgun is going to be the Super 90. Now it is definitely better than the bailiff, but for consistency purposes, once again, this shotgun is just not very good. In terms of damage, it doesn't consistently kill, especially at range, but at least in this situation it does do better at making holes in walls, making rotates, head holes, that kind of thing, so at least it serves that purpose, and it's semi-automatic, so it's not too slow. Other than that though, I think that's all the weapons I'm including in C tier. Let's move our way up into B tier, where there's going to be a little bit of conflict here, I believe. Now the first 2 or 3 weapons I wanted to include in B tier, because I personally think they are inconsistent and bad, is Kavira's shotgun, similar to the Super 90 actually, but it does have slightly better damage capabilities. I do believe it kills a little bit more consistently. I would also put the TCSG-12 in there as well. I don't like the way this weapon functions. It might just be a skill issue. Let me know down in the comments, because I know a lot of people do love this shotgun, but whenever I use it I struggle to hit my shots and I struggle to get kills. On a similar tone, I'm also going to include the ACS-12 as well. This one is fully automatic, so it's a little bit easier for me to focus on shooting and not spamming the trigger, but in my opinion these 3 weapons do definitely miss out on A tier. The next shotgun I am including in B tier has to be the Itali 12 small shotgun. Again, another secondary shotgun that is being involved in this video, and in my opinion it's a pretty good one. It's not good for getting kills, but obviously having this as a secondary option on operators like Jackal and Mirror, it's good for making head holes, good for making rotates, and in a similar vein we also have the Super Shorty. Now this one is actually surprisingly good at getting kills. Now it doesn't have range at all, but obviously it also has a smaller magazine and the pump is, I believe, a little bit slower. But both of these secondary options are obviously great because they're secondary options. Just being able to swap to it when you need it, using it, and then going back to your main primary is what really takes these 2 weapons out of C tier and D tier. The next shotgun getting chucked into B tier has to be the SAS-G. This one is again kind of fast fire rate, a little bit inconsistent when it comes to damage, similar to Cav, similar to Super 90, but in my opinion it's just more consistent when coming to getting kills. With that being said, I do think that is all of the shotguns that deserve B tier, so let's move on from B tier up into A tier. Now these are shotguns that are usually good at getting kills, they are usually consistent and reliable, they are also usually quite good at making holes and rotates as well, and they are consistently a good option to bring. Now the first one I'm going to place in here is the 612 and the 612 Suppress. Now I personally believe that these are some of the best shotguns in the game when it comes to getting kills. The one downside and the one reason for me why it's missing out on S tier is because it doesn't quite have the range when it comes to destructibility and getting kills, so it is missing out on S tier. Now the next one is going to be a bit controversial, I believe, but I think the Boss G is an A tier weapon. Now I know a lot of people don't like it at all, and I know the people who do like it think it's S tier. I'm just kind of letting everyone agree here that it is a solid weapon. Sometimes it can also be quite a negative hindrance weapon if you miss all your shots with it, but I do think it is a solid option to bring. Next up we have Thermite Shotgun. This one is also not too bad. I don't actually recommend using it because all the operators that this comes equipped on do have better primary options, but if you do run it, it is still quite consistent. And then the other shotguns joining them up in A tier has to be Valkyrie Spaz. We got the M870. It is a very good shotgun. It's pump action. It does good damage, but since they nerfed the laser sight on it, I just can't justify putting it up in S tier anymore. We also have the Italy 12 large shotgun, which is going into A tier. It probably does not deserve to be the top of A tier, but I haven't actually organized these, which leaves then 3 weapons. And in my opinion, all 3 of these shotguns here are the best shotguns in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, to be completely honest, the order of these 3 weapons doesn't actually matter that much. They're all pretty much the same in terms of how good they are. In my opinion, I'd put the Supernova at the bottom because it only really comes equipped on Goyo and Hibana, I believe, and both of those operators kind of have better primary options. The SC CQB shotgun, or whatever that is called, is another great option. I think this actually goes overlooked by a lot of players because obviously Doc and Rook and anyone else who has it has better primary options, like having the MP5 for example, but this thing has quite insane range. Obviously with that pump speed as well, it is quite good, but as we all expect, this shotgun here is probably the best in the game, and it's the one that comes equipped on Mute, Smoke, and both of those operators have SMG-11s as well, which makes it even better for their loadout. And just in general, I think this is the order of the best 3 shotguns. So with that being said, that is my complete shotgun tier list for Siege X. Let me know if you agree or disagree down in the comment section below. Where did I go wrong? Click the video on screen. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.